Hello and welcome to another tips and tricks for the XCMG XC series wheel loaders. I'm just going to quickly run through a lot of stuff that I don't know if it gets covered on the time of delivery. And this is just a good refresher regardless. So I'm going to go through all the functions here that you need to worry about, or that operators are probably keen to learn or not learn or just try and set up. We have the basic ones. Don't worry about the top four. You're not to touch those. Lights, we got amber flashers, headlights, front wiper blade. Push it twice to speed it up, press it 3 times to shut it off. Rear wiper blade. These guys, if you use auto lift, return to dig, those are awesome. If you need to know how to set those up, there's a walkthrough on our machines there. I'll probably just do an example here. Ride control, auto fan, auto shift, diff lock. Going down to our other switchboard here, this guy. This is tilt follow. That is our tilt follow switch. So I will show an example. So that switch is currently off. So when I lift, as I'm lifting the boom, the tilt is free to act as it pleases. So if we go back down, you'll see the bucket articulate. So now when I hit that switch, we'll flip that guy on. Now whatever angle we have our bucket set to, so let's keep it, let's say we'll hold it nice and flat. Auto lift, it should keep that bucket at exactly the same angle. So if you're using the tilt follow, that's exactly what it should do. That bucket angle should not change. And if we go to auto lower, should stay. I might need to increase that speed a little bit for the auto lower. Whoever was using it last must have wanted it nice and slow. So that is tilt follow. We'll flip that off. Our next guy here is fine control for the lift and lower. So if we flip that on, what effectively happens is it changes, if this was off and you hit the minimum position, you'd still get a bit of speed. So I'll try and get this and that in the same shot here. So I'll just barely send a command, just enough to do something. Okay. You might not be able to tell, but that is actually lifting extremely slowly. That's exactly what that switch does. You can also, you can give it a full command and you'll get the speed. But if you want to still get just a nice slow creep, there you go. Works exactly the same lowering. To be honest with you, I try and set our machines up so that operators really don't need to worry about this switch. I try and give a lot of range when I tune these joystick performance parameters. So, I'm trying to give the operator the feeling of an extension of their hand. I want the machine to do exactly what they tell it to do and nothing more, nothing less. So, ideally, we don't even really want to worry about that. But if you did, if you were working near, I don't know, electrical lines or people or whatever, if there's a high risk situation where you really needed to be extra precise in terms of the lifting and the lowering, that switch will give you super fine control. Moving on, for your phones, whatever, got your power, self-explanatory. This one, I don't know what that does. I think it's important. Heated mirrors. This guy is decelerate and accelerate. So this is what we would consider our RPM control or our idle control. This is hydraulic lockout. So, demonstrate. Does stuff. You can see that. If I flip that, nothing. Okay, hydraulic lockout. This one, this is a fun little one. Don't push it unless you're in an emergency. This is your emergency brake and steering. There's a separate pump for emergency situations where if the implement hydraulics go out, you enable this. It's a secondary pump and it'll allow you to drive and move the machine safely. This guy is our hood. Nope, sorry, that is not hood. Is it hood? I can't remember. Sometimes they switch these up on me. I believe actually this is, no, this is not your hood. This is your coupler. Sorry, I was drawing a blank there. This is for the quick coupler that will control the locking pins in the bottom. This is your windshield washer spray. So that's the fluid, whereas the other guy is just the motion. So you'd, you know, get it going and then spray it. Obviously, the back works the same. More lights, hazards, accessory. Most of our guys aren't using the third lines, but if you had like pipe grapples, this would be the claw or the clam, whatever you want to attach to those lines. That would be the control. So other than that, oh, I'll show you one other tip. If you're sitting in here before you go and the buzzer is driving you crazy, just press and hold this button for about 5 seconds and it'll cut off that alarm. Other than that, I don't know how much else I want to go over in this one. I really just wanted to cover the basics of the control panels and switchboards. I'll also go over the joystick, shifter, or lights and shifter. So you have the ability to use forward and reverse either from this. I have the park brake on now, so I don't need to worry about it, but you can put it forward in that, reverse like that, or I use the thumb. Reverse, you push down, forward, you push up. You can't use both of them at the same time. If you are beginner, some trainers like to get everything, you know, just in the basic way. So you're gonna start off, you know, forward and reverse with this, and you're gonna choose your gears from here or whatever. As you get better, you're just gonna use this and auto shift, all that jazz. The horn, that's the horn, is the lower button. Upper button I don't think is hooked up to anything. Aside from that, there's not too much else to cover for the interior. I think that's pretty good. Oh, I almost forgot. I don't know how many calls I've got for this sunshade. You can't see it, but that. There you go. If I missed anything, there surely will be another video coming.